Today at the Cologne-Bonn airport, President Kennedy began the European trip that many thought he should have postponed. The visit will run the emotional gamut, from the stark drama of the Berlin Wall to the sentimental gatherings at the Kennedy Homestead in Ireland. There will be serious discussions, there will be light social affairs, and when it's over, history will decide whether this has been a major international event or whether it's just been the President's trip to Europe in June 1963.
The two leaders chatted while walking toward a German army band drawn up in President Kennedy's honor. First the Star-Spangled Banner, then Deutschland lebt.
It is in this spirit that I come to Cologne to see the best of the past and the most promising of the future. May I greet you with the old Rhenish saying, Kern Allah.
And so into this ancient cathedral, which was founded in 1248, cathedral which was begun after the Archbishop of Cologne brought the relics of the three wise men of the East here. Into this cathedral enters the President to celebrate
stretching from Berlin to Saigon, we will keep this free world free until the day comes, as Thomas Jefferson predicted it would, that the disease of liberty, which is catching, spreads throughout the world. Home city of Boston, Faneuil Hall, once the meeting place of the authors of the American Revolution, has long been known as the cradle of American liberty. But when in 1852 the Hungarian patriot Kossuth addressed an audience there, he criticized its name. It is, he said, a great name, but there is something in it which saddens my heart. You should not say American liberty. You should say liberty in America. Liberty should not be either American or European. It should just be liberty. Congratulations to the Federal Republic, to the people of the Federal Republic, for the effort that they are now undertaking. The United States Peace Corps commenced in 1961, and I believe that it has given us an opportunity to harness the idealism which is, I think, in all free people, has given us an opportunity to be of assistance not merely in the cold field of economic help, but in the human relations which must exist for a happy understanding between people. Western Europe and the United States really are islands.
President, if there's one group to which I don't have to present you, that's the International Press Corps, with which you've always had such close contact. Since time is short, let me only thank you for coming here, and let me express my special gratitude that your second press conference abroad is being held here in Bonn. Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. von Hasse. I want to take this opportunity to express the appreciation all of us feel to the German people for their very generous welcome, and I'm delighted to accept the invitation of the German Press Corps to have this press conference.
Where is this tower? Oh, yeah. Where was it located? I want to express my appreciation to you, Mayor, and we appreciate the honor and your very kind remembrance of the community. You've shown the greatest hospitality to my fellow countrymen, many of whom live within your area of responsibility, and we're very grateful to you and to the people who've made them feel very much at home.
General, members of the division and the Corps, I first of all want to express my strong appreciation to our allies in NATO who participated in the honor guard this morning. The four national anthems sounded in harmony, and I know that the anthems of the other members of NATO join us in saluting the armed forces of all of our countries. It is not always easy in times of calm to maintain the solidarity of an alliance. I believe that over a long period of years, members of NATO have set
for his generous welcome. I am very proud to come here to meet the distinguished Chancellor and to be accompanied by an old veteran of this frontier, General Clay, who in good times and bad has been identified with the best in the life of this city. As Mayor Brandt said, I do not come here to reassure the people of West Berlin. Words are not so important, but the record of the three powers, our French friends whose hospitality we enjoy here, our British friends, and the people of the United States, their record is written on rock. The legendary morale and spirit of the people of West Berlin has lit a fire throughout the world. But it is not so surprising, for through history, those who live in the most danger, those who live nearest the adversary, those who keep the watch at the gate, are always prouder, more courageous, more alive than those who live far to the rear. So I'm glad to come to this city. It reassures us. And we express our thanks to the people of West Berlin for their welcome this morning. We come to a city which is 3,500 miles from the United States. But we come to a city which we feel to be part of us.
East from West Berlin. This is in the British sector and therefore is greeted by a British officer. A special platform has been built for the President to mount in order to have a view, but today there will be not much of a view. You will see a sign with communist propaganda which has been put up especially for him, saying that pledges to the German Democratic Republic, that is East Germany, have not been fulfilled in spite of Yalta.
I am proud to come to this city as the guest of your distinguished mayor, who has symbolized throughout the world the fighting spirit of West Berlin. And I am proud to visit the Federal Republic with your distinguished Chancellor, who for so many years has committed Germany to democracy and freedom and progress, and to come here in the company of my fellow American, General Clay, who has been in this city during its great moments of crisis and will come again if ever needed. Two thousand years ago, the proudest boast was Civis Romanus Sum. Today, in the world of freedom, the proudest boast is Ich bin ein Berliner. I appreciate my interpreter translating my German.
In einem winterne heren ille. Agus Haragan Kurim Cade Mila Falcher Road. Fyrin de hart geheren, Eunice cri gach dinne agi, agus tamid buiachtiad. Mr. President, I have thought it fitting that my first words of welcome to you should be in our native language, the language of your ancestors, the language that was spoken by the great Canadian clan of the Dal Gash.
This city, these schools, this country has certainly done more than it should have to show friendship for my own people and to honor my country. I must say, as the recipient of this outpouring of goodwill from the United States, I am most grateful to you all, feel most indebted not only to all of you here who hold positions of responsibility, but to all the people of this city, which has welcomed us so generously, in this country, which has made it feel so very much at home. So, Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you for the honor you've done me this afternoon, and also through you to express our thanks to the people of Dublin. I can imagine nothing more pleasant than continuing day after day to drive through the streets of Dublin and wave. And I may come back and do it. I want to also say how pleased I am to have this association with these two great universities. I am now feel equally part of both. And if they ever have a game of Gaelic football or hurling, I shall cheer for Trinity and pray for National.
John F. Kennedy is going to hear right off in the next few hours.
Mr. President, this is a great day for New Ross.
for Wexford and for Ireland. At this moment, every Irish...
And to introduce another of my sisters, Jean Smith. And I'd like to have you meet the American ambassador, McCluskey, who's with us, right over there. And I'd like to have you meet the head of the American labor movement, whose mother and father were born in Ireland, George Meany, who's traveling with us.
There is an impression in Washington that there are no Kennedys left in Ireland, that they're all in Washington. And so I wonder if there are any Kennedys in this audience. Could you hold up your hand so I can see? Well, I'm glad to see a few cousins who didn't catch the boat. We're glad.
Mayor of Boston, John F. Fitzgerald, used to tell everybody he was from Limerick and Donegal and Galway or wherever it might have helped. I want to have another Irishman, Jim Rowley. Come out here, Jim. He is head of the United States Secret Service, and he's Those members of the Secret Service who aren't Irish are embarrassed about it, but we'll make them honorary freemen today, too, Mayor. That's all right.
the emotional speech inside the Dublin Parliament, another emotional occasion outside. At the monument to Ireland's war dead, the President stands looking somber and serious. His speech inside the Parliament was one of the highlights of his trip to Ireland. The President himself was moved by the tribute paid him by the Parliament. The members of Parliament were moved by what the President himself had said about Ireland and its contributions to the world. The President then took a wreath and placed it before the war memorial. The President stands at attention, the officers salute, as the military band plays The Last Post in tribute to Ireland's war dead. The end of a moving ceremony, an emotional day in Ireland for the President of the United States.
We pray that God will give you health and strength to continue your good work for America, for peace, and for Christianity.
Quinu specialta Jacolia Wurig Nagaliva, a Chonolu in Oris Ancholia in Yalia, an Fihu Law Javina Balsana, Ligia Shasta Tree, Kururuna Vime Diengoth, from Runfeet Rodham on Oruk, Tironak, Kahar Nagaliva, Upron the Thought Nientia, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Machin, Chonolu on Quinu specialta Shaw, an Vahia War in you, Conglocka le John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Mar Hironak on Oruk, Jakar Nagaliva.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Mr. Mayor, members of the County Council, Prime Minister, ambassadors, if the day was clear enough, and if you went down to the bay and you looked west, and your sight was good enough, you would see Boston, Massachusetts. If you ever come to America, come to Washington, and tell them if they wonder who you are at the gate that you come from Galway. The word will be out, and when you do, it'll be Caith Mila Falche, which means in Gaelic 100,000 welcomes.
Greatest thanks to the President of your country, your great President, to your Prime Minister, to all the members of the government, and especially to all the people of Ireland. And what gives me the greatest satisfaction and pride in being of Irish descent is the realization that even today, this very small island still sends thousands.
Mr. President, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you here to your all too short stay in our country. You have come for another of the many series of informal talks and meetings that you have had with me over the last few years.
Prime Minister, I'm delighted to have this opportunity to meet with you again. I believe this is our 7th meeting we've had in various parts of the world. But though the geography has changed on different occasions, the subjects that we've dealt with have been very much the same. That is, how we can organize our life here in the West, our relations between our countries and those associated with us, so that our people will find themselves living in a more fruitful and productive world, and also in a world of peace and freedom. Front. It's fitting that my travels away from home should end in this country and in this city. Italy, wrote Shelley, is the paradise of exiles. And in my exile away from Washington, I've enjoyed this paradise as the last stop in Europe. I shall leave this country with regret. It is also fitting that the final event of this European tour should take place at this NATO headquarters. NATO is one of the best and the earliest examples of cooperation between Western Europe and North America. The NATO Defense Treaty pledges us all to the common defense, to regard an attack upon one as an attack upon all, and to respond with all the force at our command. And that pledge is as strong and unshakable today as it was when it was made. Finally, it's fitting to take this opportunity to review our findings and feelings after 10 days in Western Europe. Specifically, I returned to Washington, newly confirmed in my conviction